Check, check, check. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Power of Being Positive. I'm your host, David Clark. Look, I want to thank you for listening to the show. It's been great reading reviews and getting all the positive feedback from everybody that I've been getting over the past little over a year that I've done this show. So thank you very much. Over the past few episodes, I've had some really cool guests on. I had Jordan Stupar on. I've had Brett McCabe on, Dr. Brett McCabe. I've had Dr. Ronnie Rice, Esquire, attorney at law. And I've also had Pete Blank on, all talking about various things they do and ways they go about approaching life, in a positive fashion. But the other thing about them that kind of rings true across all of them is that they are high achievers. And so in this episode, I'm going to discuss some of the things that I've noticed about each of them that all of us could take to really have more of a positive impact on our lives and really see ways that we all could unleash the high achiever in ourselves. So
you're listening to The Power of Being Positive, helping you discover strategies to unleash the uplifting, energizing, and motivating power of being positive and the awesome effects that it can have in your life. Getting ready to power you up in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to the show. As I said earlier, one of the things that I wanted to do in this episode was talk about ways that we can all unleash the high achiever in ourselves. I'm a big reader and follower of people that I consider to be high achievers, as far as in other areas of their lives and things like that, as far as, following John Maxwell or listening to something that Grant Cardone may talk about, Tony Robbins, Mark Cuban, any of those people on Shark Tank. I love that show. And, the guests that I had on, that I've had on, and really other people in my life that have influenced me. And so there's a list of, let me see how many main things I made here. There's a list of about 5 or 6 habits is what I'm going to call them. And I know Brendon Burchard has got a book out also about habits of highly effective people and things like that. I have not read that book. I'm going to read that book after this and see where I am in line with anything that he may or may not be talking about. But anyway, so after listening to, and actually really, the funny thing is that these interviews that I did with these people really helped me to learn more about them than probably I previously even knew about them. And I've known each of them for at least 4 to 5 years apiece. And this interview allowed me to really interviews allowed me to sit down and really get to know these guys even more, and respect them even more because of just the candid conversations that we have. So if you have not listened to those previous episodes, please go back and listen to them. I promise you that you'll get something out of them that will help you, live a more positive life or go about looking at things in a more productive way. Because again, that's what this is all about, is positivity and how to push things forward and be more productive and with everything it is that we're doing. All right. So again, these 5, I'm going to say 5 because one of them kind of blurs in with the other. But so the first habit that I noticed first high achieving habit that I've noticed, and it's one of these, and it's something that I've had to become more comfortable with in some of the new things that I'm doing on a daily basis or on a weekly or monthly or hourly basis even. The first habit that high achievers across the board have is they are in the habit of biting off more than they can chew. So think about this for a second. There's always been like a negative connotation that's been laid on people when they fail. You know, it's like, oh, well, they bit off more than they can chew. Or it's, hey, your eyes were bigger than your stomach. You know, and I see that, previously I've used that statement before. And previously, before I really sat down and started thinking about this with these, again, with these other people that I've been talking to and other characteristics I've been looking for, is that's not a bad thing. Biting off more than you can chew shows that you're putting yourself out there and you're trying to reach bigger and better goals and better yourself. Because the thing about it is that if you do the things that you know you can do on a daily basis, you won't ever grow. And in order to be a high achiever, you've got to be doing things to put yourself in a position to stretch your limits and to grow yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, everything across the board, to really, like I said, reach that maximum level and to achieve things that other people haven't achieved before. The other thing about it is, as you go through this process of wanting to achieve great things, one of the realizations that you've got to have is you can't do it alone. So as you bite off more than you can chew, it's going to get you in a habit of getting others and bringing others in to help you build and create these great things. I've been part of organizations in the past where we started off super small, all the way from the very first job that I had out of college, selling TV ads. We started off as a very small group, very small local group. And as the market industry grew, our organization grew and got bigger, and we added more services and support and facilities and all this stuff. And one of the more previous positions that I've been in the digital marketing field, when I first went into that, I didn't know anything about the web or anything else like that. But through that process and us growing that company to be over 30 employees at one point, my knowledge level on everything across the board when it came to marketing and online marketing and all this stuff, and really and on another level on how to not be a leader, it grew. And it all grew because we went into these things and we went in knowing we're going to bite off more than we can chew. So don't look at biting off more than you can chew as a bad thing. Look at it as a good thing. It's going to help you grow across the board. And that's what high achievers do. They constantly bite off more than they can chew so that they can learn, because that's the fastest way to learn is through experience and through going through it yourself. The next biggest thing that high achievers do is they are finishers. So think about this. They finish the things they start. They don't leave a task undone. If they start on something, they put in the work until it's finished. One of the worst things that you could do for yourself is to have 1,000 things that are undone, that are halfway started, because your time and your effort are precious things. You won't ever get them back. So when you invest time into something or money into something and you don't finish it, you don't see the result of all the hard work and effort and money and time and energy and thought and everything else that you've put into it. So high achievers finish the things they start. They push their tasks across the line. They're very focused in what it is that they do. So, and I'm going to take this from one of the people that really inspire me on a daily basis, as far as being a finisher, and it's my wife. Anybody that knows her knows that she stays head down and nose down in anything that she does until she finishes it. And it bothers her to not have things sitting around and not be finished, as to where I bounce because I get bored from time to time. I mean, case in point, I haven't been consistent about, putting this podcast up on a consistent basis. I've had tons of ideas, and I've got tons of half-recorded episodes, but I haven't finished them because either I haven't liked them or I got distracted. So, high achievers stay focused. They don't allow distractions to come in, and they finish the things they start. So be a finisher. If you follow me on any of my social media personally, or through the Instagram account or Facebook account for Power of Being Positive, you're going to notice that I've posted a lot about being a finisher. And a lot of the things that I post on my social accounts are things that are relative to me, and they are more helpful to me. I mean, it's really for me to have a place to put things, to be able to go back and remind myself. So if you haven't followed along anything yet, please go follow along on my social media accounts. And it's not just for glamour stats or anything like that. Go follow them and let me know what you think, because again, the things that I post are things that are relative to me at the time. The next thing that high achievers do is they are not scared to share their vision, goals, and dreams with others. I referenced this in an earlier podcast, but one of the, or maybe I haven't. I think this is part of one of the episodes that I've started to record about vision and the positive impact of vision. So that's probably the next one that I want to post. So listen to my next podcast or be looking for it. But they share their goals, visions, and dreams with other people, and they aren't scared to do it. And the reason that they do this is because when you share your goals and visions and dreams outside of your head and you verbalize them and you do it to people that you know and you see frequently, then there's a high likelihood that they're going to ask you how your pursuit of this vision is going. It's an accountability system. I've got a friend of mine who about once a month calls me and asks me how I'm doing towards my goals. And they ask me if I've set a goal for X, Y, and Z, or for any of the things that I'm doing. And they ask me how I'm going towards, how am I working towards those goals? Am I achieving them? Am I putting in the effort? All this stuff. So don't be scared to share your dreams with people, because the people that care about you will support you through your achievement of those things no matter what. And they may mess with you every now and then because that's what good friends do. I know I do. I give my friends crap all the time. But don't be scared to share your dreams. And high achievers share their dreams with other people. Brett McCabe, Jordan Stupar, these people do this daily on their social media accounts. So go follow Jordan Stupar. Go follow Dr. Brett McCabe. Go follow Pete Blank. He does a 2-minute video almost every day. Go follow these people. Ronnie Rice does the same thing. He's got like 15 Instagram accounts, so there's no way you'll miss him. The fourth thing that high achievers do, okay, and this is extremely important, they are encouraging to other people. They create an environment of encouragement, because as you go through the facts of biting off more than you can chew, go through the times of trying to achieve these big goals and visions and all this stuff, you're going to have times where you have personal self-doubt. And I'm a big believer of you get back what you put out. So if you put out a bunch of positivity and a bunch of encouragement to other people, and you do things to lift other people up from a mental mindset standpoint, the more encouragement that you put out, the more you're going to get back, because you don't know. And I would encourage you just to be encouraging to to somebody random every day, because I know that at least I think I'm pretty good about putting a mask on and not letting people know when I'm down or depressed or whatever else, or I'm not feeling the energy to do something, because I'm never going to tell somebody how I really feel if it's negative. I'm just not going to do it. This is not what I do. What I like to do. I don't like to spread a bunch of negativity or gossip or anything else like that. On occasion, I have my flare-ups, but you never know when you're going to need some of that encouragement back. You just never know. So they are encouraging to other people. Be encouraging. Be positive. Be encouraging to someone about them in front of other people. Do it privately. Send somebody a text message right now that you love and care about, and that you might think you just want to be encouraging to them. So I would encourage you to take your phone out right now and do that if you're not driving. Or if you are, leave yourself a note to do it later. All right. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. The fifth thing that high achievers do, okay? They are excellent communicators, okay? And they are patiently persistent, if that makes sense. So the way that I kind of see this patient persistent thing working out is, again, it has to do with knowing that your goals and dreams are bigger than yourself, and knowing that in order to see greatness, right, happen, it takes time. But it also takes a lot of work and effort and sweat and tears sometimes to see these big things happen for yourself, or for those around you. And they understand that, look, you got to be patient, but you got to be persistent, and you got to put work into this goal every day. And, and in order to put work into this goal every day, you got to have a process, right? And you got to have habits. And I heard another word the other day on a Tony Robbins podcast. It was rituals, right? And the word ritual seems more spiritual, right? And it's ingrained in your spirit. I just like habit because it just seems better to me. Process seems a little more mechanical. So again, you're patiently persistent. So remember that. Remember that all good things take time, and high achievers understand this. But they also understand that the more work they put into something on a frequent basis, the more likely that they will see the return eventually. And the more that you do this over and over and over again, the greater the return you'll see. Not necessarily the faster. Eventually you'll see a return on it, but you'll see a more prolonged return on all this time and effort and all this finishing that you're doing, right? You're finishing things on a daily basis. Finish. But then ultimately you'll see the big prize in the end. And you'll get that return. Okay. I had to plug my laptop up. It was about to die. Okay. And here's one of the last things that I kind of want to talk to you about. And it's kind of funny, when I first thought about recording this episode, I only had like 3 or 4 things, and then I keep adding to it. And this is one of the more recent ones that I've added, is high achievers do everything in their power to kill limiting beliefs and kill self-pointed disbelief. And so follow me on this. In order for you to really go after your goal and unleash and to really achieve great things, you've got to be in a habit of not limiting yourself, because you will only go and achieve the things that you tell yourself that you will be that are possible for you to achieve. You know, if you look at basketball players or anything like that, you know, if you tell yourself that you can't hit a free throw, then you won't ever try to shoot one. So if you tell yourself that these big dreams aren't possible, or these big things you're trying to achieve aren't possible, then you won't ever put the energy necessary into it, and you'll fail, or you'll let yourself quit when things get hard or adversity happens along the way. So be in a habit of killing all limited beliefs. Be in a habit of keeping your self-belief high. Because if you don't, then you won't have the grit to, because that's a big word these days, grit. You won't have the grit to persevere through, when times get tough. So, look, I really want everyone to be able to unleash the high achiever inside of yourself. And I really know that every single person out there, especially if you're listening to this episode and you're listening to this podcast, that you're trying to improve yourself in one way or another, right? You're trying to find answers to questions. And so you're already halfway there. So first off, be a high achiever yourself and go after your goals. But also be an inspiring light to other people and let them know that they are capable of being high achievers themselves and achieving and reaching any goal or anything that they want or they desire, because it is possible. It is possible. No matter what anybody says, no matter what any of the talking heads say, your goals, any goal that you have is possible. If you keep a positive attitude and you're patient and you're persistent and you bite off more than you can chew and you're encouraging the others and you share these visions and goals and dreams with other people because they're going to want to join in with you and help you and be a part of it. If you finish the things you start, if you're a great communicator and you share things with people and you set expectations of how you just set expectations with people and let them understand that the things that they need to do. And you kill the limiting beliefs. I hope this is helpful. And again, I appreciate everybody listening along. And I really hope and I really know that you can be a high achiever if you tell yourself that you can and you go for it. With that, this is, I think, episode 11 or 12. And I hope that you've had a great week so far, and I hope that you have a great start of the next. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to leave me a message or leave me a comment, and I will try to answer those either in the next show, or if there's something that you feel like I didn't address fully, then let me know that too. But with that, I'm David Clark, host of Power of Being Positive. Have a great one. Talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to the Power of Being Positive podcast. To get more tips sent to your inbox, visit powerofbeingpositive.com.